If it's Thursday night, well, we're here and going live, one question at a time. I'm absolutely loving it. If we haven't met before, my name is Rick Senninger, and I am a clinical hypnotherapist. I'm also a certified grief counselor, and I have been a behavioral researcher in the funeral industry and any number of things. But tonight, I'm here to ask you a very, very simple question. Have you ever felt when you like walked into a room and it's like family time, right? Thanksgiving, birthday, holidays, whatever, and you feel like you don't even belong? As a matter of fact, there's a big part of you that's even asking, should I go ask my mom if they like switched me at birth? Or should I be taking a DNA test? Because I don't seem to fit in here anywhere. It doesn't even feel like I'm part of this. And so I'm going to ask you this evening to think about that, and then also to think about how exactly to reframe the question. That maybe there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You see, the truth is, there's over 8.8 billion people on the face of this earth. And quite frankly, there is nobody else on the face of the earth exactly like you. Never has been and never will be. No two people possess the same DNA. No two have the same fingerprints, retinal patterns, life experiences, memories, emotional histories, personalities, much less same moms and dads, same brothers and sisters. Sometimes where you're at in the pecking order, you might be the eldest, you might be the youngest. The point is that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you at all. It simply means that your experiences are a little bit different than everyone else because you have your interpretation of life. No two people see life exactly the same way. So I'm sure that, well, at least for a number of us, there was a book that was out several years ago by Thomas Harris. It was entitled, I'm Okay, You're Okay. Now, I'd like to reframe that just a little bit. No, not only are we both okay, we're both incredibly different. By that I mean is your brain, your body, your history, your temperament, your fears, your gifts, the things that you can do. I've worked with twins before, and some of the skill sets between two identical twins can be very different. Interests can be similar, but not identical. Now, I know this is going to be very disappointing to many, many of my fans, but if you were to clone me, which I know there's been a lot of discussion about that you would not get me exactly as I am because the experience of someone else who maybe had the identical DNA would be entirely different because they would be brought up in a different age and there would be different technology and different experiences that they would have as they were growing up. It would still make them very, very different. Might have some similar traits, but that would be it. So, what I'm trying to say is the goal should not be to becoming more like everybody else. The goal should be for you to actually understand yourself better, learn to appreciate the things that you bring to the table, and in doing so, recognize the qualities of other people and what makes them different. The idea is for you to bring forward the healthiest version of you so that therefore you can create and enjoy the better version of everyone else around you. Now, the families that produce completely different siblings, completely different friends, family members, so on and so on, has always been amazing to me. I'm going to share a real quick story, a personal story. My dad was brought up in the near in Chicago, near Midway Airport, if you happen to know where that is. It's very, very south end, but it was the 1940s and 50s, so it's not the same South Chicago there is today. That's not the real point. The point is, everyone in his family worked for either Wrigley Chewing Gum, or they worked for the city as a bus driver, or they worked as in some capacity, a civil position in the community. Stable jobs, hardworking people, so on and so on. Nobody there had anything higher than an eighth grade education. My dad was the very first one in his family to get a college degree. He did that through, like a lot of folks, he did that through his military benefits. But then he went on not only just to get to get a bachelor's degree, he went on to get a master's and even a doctorate from Syracuse. That's also not the point because they were like going, why are you going back to college? You already got a college degree. His family didn't even recognize that you could get advanced degrees. This was not who they were. The point being, he never felt like he fit in with his regular family. It wasn't until he got older that everyone was able, as adults, to be able to kind of, laugh about things and so on. But at the time, it was they would say things that were really, really hurtful or things that they didn't understand because they looked at life differently. And that hurt my dad's feelings a lot of times. He said, it was rather upsetting. He would be really, really upset. And that to give you an idea as well as to how things can be perceived so differently. If you've ever been an athlete before, if you've ever been in an athletic team, there's a coach. He starts yelling at people, and some of the guys, some of the gals, some of the people involved, some of the teammates, they get all fired up. Another teammate, the coach really just says almost the exact same thing, climbs up their backside, really get, and instead of being motivated, it devastates them. It actually, their performance starts to weaken because of the way things were described. Interpretation is everything. You ask a cop, you see a car accident, three people see a car accident. You're going to get three different renditions because everyone sees life differently. So when you're with your family and so on, and you're saying, hey, look, we were raised in the same home, we were raised by the same parents, but we experienced totally different things at different ages, different finances, different stress, expressions, friendships, birth order can even make a difference. My sister had an entirely different relationship with my parents. I was the eldest. I was the eldest son. Being the eldest son, what does that mean? That means that I'm the first one to get a driver's license. I'm the first one to start going on dates. I'm the first one to go away to school. My brother and sister, both younger than I am, they didn't follow my path exactly, but at least they had parents with experience. By the time my sister, being the youngest of three, got to her, that meant that my parents had already had experience with two others, right? So it wasn't going to be the same with her. My parents were going to respond differently. Also, she was the only girl, so that would probably have different responses as well, especially in the 1970s when we were graduating from high school. So these are things will all make things very, very, very different. So the same events can become five, six, seven different interpretations because they're all different memories. No one is lying. Everyone's speaking their honest to goodness truth. It's just going to be different. Have to remember something. Everything enters your life through a filter. That filter includes your biology, your emotions, your personal belief systems. That can even be different between different parents. Successes, disappointments, hope, fear, previous experiences. Two people can hear the exact same sentence, and one will feel encouraged and the other one discouraged, like we were talking about with coaches. So, how does this all translate? Just remember something. Everyone looks at life through their own lenses, but there's also three ways to automatically recognize whether you're getting clarity or not. Looking through life by practicing intelligent, meaning it has to make sense. It also inspired. You have to benefit by what you're perceiving. You always perceive things in a manner or frame it in a way that suits you. And intuitive, it has to feel right. We all do these things. We do it simultaneously. Sometimes feelings are at the front and logic's at the back, and sometimes logic's up front and feelings are in the back, or acceptance is in the back, or understanding how this is going to benefit you. But so that instead of asking the question, what's wrong with me? I encourage you to ask this, what happened to me that taught me to feel this way? Whether it was a really good thing that you're feeling, wow, this, what was it taught me that when I saw or I experienced this, I feel really, really good? And what is it that I've experienced or taught and been taught from the past that when this happens, I don't feel very good. I take it personally when maybe other people don't. Because once you understand that, then you start recognizing that you have choices in the way that you perceive everything. And then you can look at life more clearly. And when you look at life more clearly, you're going to make more clear decisions, decisions for your best life. And your best life is what we're after. So if you spent your life feeling different, please hear this. You're not late. You're not broken. You're not defective. You're not less valuable. Your nervous system, your life experiences, your perceptions have created someone no one else has ever been and no one else will ever be. Your fingerprint is unique. Your DNA is unique. Your retina is unique. Why wouldn't your interpretation of life be unique as well? So stop trying to become someone else. Start understanding who you already are, because the better you understand yourself, the better decisions you make, the better your relationships become, the more peace you experience, and ultimately joy within your life becomes more and more possible. Now, here's a little Rickism for you. Your uniqueness was never your weakness. Say it again. Your uniqueness was never your weakness. It has always been your invitation to understand yourself more deeply. So, in the meantime, I will see you again next Thursday. I'm Rick Senninger. This has been One Conversation at a Time. Remember, life will interrupt everyone. How you understand these interruptions, how you interpret them, and what they will mean to you, that's all entirely up to you. I look forward to talking to you again next week. In the meantime, stay brilliant.